Americans love a good pub quiz.
But we invented the pub quiz in the UK. You're welcome.
So we thought, why not find out how much Americans and Brits really know about each other? We've got 5 fun categories for you, followed by a final bonus question.
And we begin with the all-important question: coffee or tea? Question 1. Do farmers worldwide produce more coffee or more tea each year? Question 2. What percentage of American coffee drinkers prefer their morning brew black? Is it more or less than 30%? Question 3. Do Brits drink more cups of tea each day, or Americans more cups of coffee? Question 4. More than half of American coffee drinkers 45 and older prefer regular coffee. What's the preferred coffee drink of those under 45? And finally, question 5. In the UK, which is considered more posh? High tea or low tea? We'll give you a few moments to answer and let you have a sip of tea or whatever your preferred beverage right now.
All right, let's find out how much you know about coffee and tea. The answer to question 1. Nearly 3 times as much coffee is produced by farmers worldwide. But hang on, it takes much less tea than coffee to brew a cup. Tea is a far more popular drink worldwide. The answer to question 2. Just 20% of American coffee drinkers prefer black coffee. Question 3. Brits drink an average of 6 cups of tea each day, while Americans average 3 cups of coffee. However, coffee has about twice as much caffeine as tea, so we're about as equally caffeinated. Question 4. Younger American coffee drinkers now say they prefer iced coffee to regular hot coffee. And our final question. Low tea is considered more posh than high tea. Low tea is typically enjoyed by the aristocracy at a low table, like a coffee table, ironically. High tea is enjoyed by the working class and is actually a meal typically served along with a pot of tea.
We hit the road for our second category. But which side of the road? Question 1. How many European countries, in addition to the UK, drive on the left-hand side of the road? Question 2. Name the only U.S. territory where motorists drive on the left-hand side of the road. Question 3. Americans love their cars. Only about 8% of Americans live in households without vehicles. What percentage of people in the UK live in car-free households? Is it more or less than 25%? Question 4. In 2023, a small SUV, the Ford Puma, was the best-selling vehicle in the UK. Ford also topped the bestseller list in the US. Can you name the best-selling vehicle in the US in 2023? And our final question in this round. Red double-decker buses are a symbol of the UK. But what percentage of people in the UK actually take a bus daily? Is it more or less than 10%? As you finalize your answers, we want to share something we have in common. We'd both love it if you would hit the subscribe button, so you'll never miss another fun pub quiz.
Now to the answers. Question 1. Drivers in 3 other European countries drive on the left-hand side of the road: Ireland, Cyprus, and Malta. Some Americans do drive on the left-hand side of the road. The answer to question 2 is the US Virgin Islands. For question 3, nearly 1/3 of UK households don't have cars. So the answer is more than 25%. It's probably no surprise that Americans like big trucks. The answer to question 4 and the best-selling vehicle in the US is the Ford F-150 pickup truck. And while you may have ridden on a double-decker bus while visiting the UK, only about 7% of people in the UK ride buses each day. So less than 10% is the answer.
We're chuffed to bring you our third category. Chuffed is British slang for happy or pleased. So you've probably figured out that all of our questions in this round are about slang. Question 1. If someone in the UK called you balmy, would that be a compliment or an insult? Question 2. If an American said you were being salty after a football match, what would that mean? Question 3. What's the American version of the British slang term bagsy? Question 4. If an American asks you for the tea, chances are she doesn't want a drink. What does she want? And question 5. If your UK friend asks to borrow a bog roll, what does he need? We'll give you a few seconds to complete your answers. And before you get too trolleyed tonight, we hope you'll give our little pub quiz a thumbs up. By the way, trolleyed is British slang for drunk.
Okay, the answers to round 3. In question 1, barmy means mad or crazy, so that would be an insult. Question 2, if you're being salty after a match, chances are your team lost. Salty means angry or bitter. Question 3, the American version of bagsy is dibs. For example, you can call Bagsy on the front seat before a road trip. Question 4, if an American asks for the tea, she probably isn't looking for a cup of Earl Grey. She wants gossip. And finally, your desperate friend asking for a bog roll is in search of toilet paper. Make sure you stick around after round 5 for our all-in bonus question. It has to do with the most viewed TV event in history.
Round 4 now, and it's the pound versus the dollar. We're talking money. Question 1. The British pound is the oldest surviving independent currency. Has it been around more or less than 1,000 years? Question 2. If someone in the United States says he paid 5 G's for a used car, how much money exchanged hands? Question 3. How much is a quid in the UK? Question 4. In London's financial culture, how much money is a yard? And our final question in this round. In the US, banknotes are sometimes called dead presidents. Can you name the 2 men on paper currency who were never president? While you finish up your answers, consider dropping us a comment with ideas for other trivia topics you'd like to see.
Okay, the answers to round 4. Question 1. The British pound has been around for more than 1,000 years. 1,200 years to be more precise. Question 2. 5 G's in the United States is $5,000. G is short for a grand. Question 3. A quid in the UK stands for £1. Our 4th question now. In financial circles in London, a yard is £1 billion or $1 billion. And finally, the 2 men on American banknotes who were never president, Benjamin Franklin and Alexander Hamilton.
We have one more category before our all-in final bonus question. And we've saved our most contentious questions for last. The Revolutionary War. Or as we call it, the War for American Independence. Question 1. Name the British monarch during the war. Question 2. The First Continental Congress was held in which city? Question 3. Who was the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence? Question 4. What animal appeared on the popular war flag along with the phrase, "Don't tread on me"? And our final question in this round. Can you name the treaty that officially ended the war and recognized the US as an independent nation? After we're done, be sure to share your score in the comments.
Okay, let's see those correct answers for round 5. The monarch during the war was King George III. While losing the colonies was a blow for England, he served for 59 years. The answer to question 2. Philadelphia was the city that hosted the First Continental Congress. Question 3 asked the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence. That was John Hancock, who also provided the largest signature on the Declaration. The animal on the "Don't Tread on Me" flag is a snake. And finally, the treaty that ended the war and recognized the United States was the Treaty of Paris, signed in 1783.
Don't go anywhere because our all-in final bonus question is here. The most watched television event in history took place in one of our 2 countries. Can you name the event that attracted an estimated 5 billion viewers?
The most watched television event in history occurred on September 19, 2022, and was the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II.
We hope you've enjoyed our US versus UK pub quiz. Be sure to check out one of these other fun trivia videos. We'll see you next time on Trivia Hustlers.